Welcome back, guys. If you don't know me, my name is Prince Kaushik, and today I'm back with another video. Today we have with us Dr. Ashish Bamania, the OG. Last time he was here, उन्होंने बात करी थी हमसे PLAB के बारे में, how to be a doctor in UK इस बारे में. And this time, not really on that track, but yes, every time he's on our channel, the conversation is everything except not interesting. So, for those who are new to the channel, I would like to welcome Dr. Ashish Bamania and would request him for a short, sweet introduction.
First of all, thanks for having me, dude. So, my name is Ashish. I'm one of the junior doctors who's working in NHS. I'm currently an emergency medicine doctor based in London. That's the medical part of my description. I do a lot of other things on the side. I write a tech blog, have been programming, building software around medical artificial intelligence. Recently quite interested into Web3, cryptocurrencies, and the blockchain.
So basically, we need at least 12 years to shoot this interview, but we will try in the 30 minutes we have on Zoom call. So yes, Dr. Ashish is the most versatile doctor I have come across on entire web in the entire country, from our country, to be honest, to be specific. This is the reason, this is the very reason he is here on our channel. अरे आप लोग आ गए. काफ़ी लंबी होने वाली है ये वीडियो. पहली बात. दूसरी बात बता देते हैं वीडियो किस बारे में. सो डॉक्टर आशीष बमानिया लास्ट ईयर आए थे हमारे चैनल पे एंड वीडियो काफ़ी फाड़ हुई थी. कॉन्वर्जेशन थोड़ी लंबी भले ही चलती है लेकिन काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग होती है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट आई वुड लाइक टू इंट्रोड्यूस फिजिक्स वाला. मोर अबाउट देम थोड़ा सा लेटर इन द वीडियो. लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द वीडियो राइट अवे. थैंक यू. I would like to start with pointing out the last time, Dr. Ashish, you were here on the channel, you were a GP trainee. Suddenly, you are an emergency doctor. How did that happen?
So the last time when we did a video, I was in the second year of my general practice training after a month after meeting you.
So it's me, yeah.
After a month, I dropped out of the program. There were a few reasons for that. The first one was definitely you.
Me, obviously. The next ones.
The second one was that I wasn't feeling that I wanted to be a GP, although it paid well, but I was not really interested in it. As part of my GP training rotations, I did emergency medicine and I loved it because it was like a proper fun job.
Very, very interesting choice of words for an emergency doctor. Dramatic.
So I really liked it. So decided on quitting the post-graduation to become a GP, and then I joined as a junior doctor. And I currently work in London, which is one of the busiest emergencies in the UK. So yeah, it was just out of interest that, so the salaries haven't gone up, the inflation has gone up, cost of living is peaking, but the salaries are actually going down. So the whole agenda of the strike is to restore what doctors have lost in terms of income in the last 20 years.
Okay. So the last time we were talking, you were quite optimistic about becoming a doctor in UK. Has that changed?
I mean, it depends on a personal level how you see money, but on a gross level, the salaries have definitely gone down. I would say as a junior doctor, the salaries are at par with living a decent life. But if you want to enjoy the extravagant life, or like if you want to have everything that you have ever wanted, you won't be able to do that as a junior doctor, unless you have different sources of income and unless if you are diversifying your assets and doing other things on the side.
So if I'm not wrong, living in India, the salaries which the Indian government pay to the doctors, it is basically enough to live a decent life. So what would be a point to go to UK and then again live a decent life? Matlab, people aspire to live the life they can't live here. That is the reason they're moving there, if I'm not wrong.
So there are a few things. First of all, the overall quality of living is obviously high as compared to India. For example, the roads, the pollution levels, the kind of food that you eat, whether it's how the work culture is, it's definitely much better in the UK as compared to India. At a personal level, my reason to move to another country was just look for flashy things. My purpose was to try to explore how other people are living in the world. So that was my reason to move to another country. So again, it depends. So I would say that if someone asks me, like if they should move to the UK, then definitely yes, you should move to UK. The reason for that is when you live in a different country, whatever things that you have in your mind in terms of how people live, how people act, that completely shatters down. So it's just like coming out of your own well, right? So that's the reason for moving to another country. I wouldn't say that you will start printing out a lot of money, and that's why you should move to the UK.
Do you watch all those memes from India, or are you completely cut off?
I'm completely cut off, man.
Come on, there's so much going. So you do not watch memes. What do you watch exactly? Reels is not Mark Zuckerberg able to get in your head with reels and everything? How do you keep him at bay?
I spend most of my time consuming like really good stuff that will help me in the next 25 years rather than doing something.
Let's take the conversation towards that. What kind of things you read?
In terms of consuming content, I would read about things that are not very popular. For example, if I am learning Python, I would go into the core documentations of Python, like how Python was written, how Python compiler works, how this language is executing things on the processor level, how can we make things faster. These are all unpopular stuff, like very boring stuff. If you start speaking this to someone, they'll be like, "Abe paka mat yaar," right? So I usually consume content like that. For that, there are multiple books. Like the internet is
So you in short, you like to dig deeper into the stuff than the usual public.
definitely, and a lot of things that are very unpopular these days. For example, blockchain. I'm like very bullish on blockchains. I think blockchains will change how we see the world. For example, like
The way people see it these days, blockchains का जमाना जा चुका है, crypto का जमाना जा चुका है.
I think, that is kind of the stuff that I try to read, which people have totally lost faith on. Something interesting that I figured out is that if you start doing things that other people are not doing it, like you'll definitely level up, man. Definitely level up in life. Has happened with academics in terms of what I read, what I write about. Has happened in terms of my health. I mean, I've been on a long-term ketogenic diet now. My body weight has gone like properly down. I've lost like 20 kilograms. Crazy amount of weight.
If I'm not wrong, I went through your some of your posts on Instagram. You were just anti-glucose.
I'm
कुछ तो campaign चला.
I'm not anti-glucose per se. I would say I'm anti people who are trying to sell you glucose. I mean, I see it as a constant battle. Like if there's a company who's just trying to train you like a lab rat, why do you want to be a lab rat for them? Like everything you eat around has glucose in it and has fructose in it. Why do you want glucose? It's not a essential nutrient. Like your body can do gluconeogenesis, produce whatever glucose you like. I haven't had any glucose in like months now. No sugar, no glucose, no carbs, no grains. I just eat meat and veggies.
मैं इस चीज को support भी किस मुंह से करूँ? रोज सुबह मुंह में जाके.
Bro, this has completely like differently changed my life.
हाँ, तो जैसा कि हमने वीडियो की स्टार्टिंग में बताया था कि फिजिक्स वाले के बारे में हम थोड़ी देर बाद बात करेंगे. सो हियर आई एम. तो जैसे कि डॉक्टर आशीष जी रहे हैं एक शानदार ज़िंदगी, जैसे कि आप अपने आसपास अपने सीनियर्स को देखते होंगे एक शानदार ज़िंदगी जीते हुए, इस सब को करने के लिए कहीं ना कहीं कितना भी बोलो USMLE, प्लैब, नीट, नेक्स्ट, कुछ ना कुछ तो करना ही पड़ता है आफ्टर MBBS. So to make that process easier for you guys, I have an offer for you from physics वाला. टाइटल के बाद नीट PG क्रैक करना है तो बढ़ते कंपटीशन, कम वैकेंसीज और टफर एग्जाम्स के बीच आपको चाहिए एक सही गाइडेंस. वो प्रोवाइड करने आया है फिजिक्स वाला नीट PG, अवेलेबल ऑन इट्स एप्लीकेशन PW MedEd. मेडेड एक नया इनिशिएटिव फ्रॉम पीडब्ल्यू जो हेल्प करेगा आपको कंप्लीट सिलेबस सीखने नीट पीजी/एफएमजी आपके पूरे सफर में। इंडियाज बेस्ट फैकल्टीज आपको हेल्प करेंगे विद वेल स्ट्रक्चर्ड रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स। चेक आउट द बैचेस फ्रॉम द पीडब्ल्यू मेडेड फ्रॉम फर्स्ट ईयर टू इंटर्न एंड पोस्ट इंटर्नशिप। एक वास्ट क्वेश्चन बैंक की जगह आपको मेडेड के साथ मिलेगा एक कंसाइज और एक्यूरेट क्वेश्चन बैंक जिसमें सिर्फ इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस होंगे। टेस्ट सीरीज भी अवेलेबल होंगे जिससे आप अपनी कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ा सकते हैं। और पीडब्ल्यू का ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड मेथड जो देगा आपको बेस्ट चांस फॉर बेस्ट मार्क्स। यही नहीं, मेड एड इज एक्सट्रीमली अफोर्डेबल विद अ सब्सक्रिप्शन मॉडल। Just choose and crack NEET PG in one go. To know more, check the description code and you'll find a coupon code there. So, इंतजार किस बात का है? नीचे जाओ, अपना कूपन कोड लो एंड अवेल ₹500 एडिशनल ऑफ नहीं है भाई, एडिशनल ऑफ है ऑन एग्जिस्टिंग ऑफर्स ऑन फिजिक्स वाला। क्रैक द नीट पीजी इन वन गो। We can maybe talk about this in a bit detail. Matlab, how should people change their diet plan? And in short, in very crisp, what are your resources, the authentic resources about it?
So if you're a doctor, the first resource is to go back to biochemistry and learn how your body works, right? Rather than just
It would have sounded quite insulting in Hindi, so we've just put a layer of foam over it.
So the first step is to go back to biochemistry, know how metabolism works. People think that if you start eating less and keep exercising more, you'll lose weight. That has never worked for me. That never works. There have been multiple long-term studies which say that 95% of people who eat less and exercise more, they gain all the weight in the next 10 years. It's a proper bullshit strategy because your body doesn't work like that. You are not a physical system. Like, you're not a calorie meter, like you put in calories out. It doesn't work like that. You're a pool of hormones. You have insulin going on, glucagon, leptin, ghrelin, TSH, T3, T4, so many, vitamin D, so many hormones that are constantly acting on your body. So it doesn't work that you stop eating like very high calorie food and go and exercise more. Because I was doing it for a long time. I was consuming about like 800 kilocalories at a point when I was like properly fat, or maybe 1000, 1200 something. But I never lost any weight. That's for the same reason. I mean, because we don't understand metabolism. The way to do it is to hack your metabolism. In order to hack your metabolism, you understand how insulin works. So you do not spike your insulin levels. If you start eating food,
do not spike your insulin levels.
definitely. If you start eating food that doesn't spike your insulin levels that much, I mean, there will be slight spike, obviously. You can't have zero spikes.
Matlab, it should be peakless, na?
It should be like this. It should be like this, right? It shouldn't go exponentially high and then exponentially down, right? So if you're struggling with that, I would recommend wearing a continuous glucose monitor and see what foods cause that spike. If not, there are proper research. Like, if you start eating very high fat, high protein diet, you won't spike on insulin. What this will also cause is it will reduce the chronic inflammation in your body. Once your chronic inflammation is gone, your body will start losing weight on its own.
So is it just about losing weight or having a nice physique? Matlab, is it just about losing weight?
No.
Or being healthy in general, having more energy?
It's more about being more mentally clear, physically active, more muscular, less visceral fat, and increasing longevity. So ketone bodies in your body, when they are high in your body, they have shown multiple times that they increase longevity. They increase expression of your genes. They better, like, your body can better create proteins. Your body works well on autophagy, which is a process helps in clearing out all the garbage stuff that is floating around in the cell. Okay, and then it reduces inflammation. So you will see lots of people who are on a very low carb diet that their autoimmune disease is gone or their inflammation is gone.
Gone.
Yeah, gone. I have personally experienced this. So working in emergency, I used to walk a lot. So one day I suddenly started having pain in my right foot, like on the bottom. So I thought that it was plantar fasciitis. As soon as I shifted to a low carb diet, it's gone. So I was like, "Hey, this can't be happening." So I introduced carbs just to see what happens, and then it came back again.
Dr. Ashish be running RCT on his on himself to prove his point.
Amazing results, and you will see different studies which say that your mood is better on ketones because your brain preferentially uses ketones, your heart preferentially uses beta hydroxybutyrate, which is a ketone body. And it makes sense on an evolutionary basis. Like, think about an early man. What he used to do was he used to hunt, have a big meal rich in protein and fat, and then fast till you find another hunt.
The way our professor used to explain this stuff was, okay, when we used to study biochemistry in first year, so Dr. Indu was our teacher. I really liked her classes. So she's right now in AIIMS Gorakhpur. So she used to tell us कि बच्चों ग्लूकोज बनाने के लिए सारे के सारे एंजाइम्स काम कर रहे हैं, अगर आप देख रहे हो तो मतलब देयर आर जस्ट so many enzymes who are just shifting everything towards increasing more and more glucose and then breaking the glucose to produce the energy. But there are very few hormones which are the enzymes exactly who are working in the opposite direction. We don't really need glucose. One more point she made was कि हाइपरग्लाइसीमिया के लिए कोई सिम्टम्स नहीं आते शरीर के अंदर, हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया के लिए सिम्टम्स है. सो द पॉइंट इज के बॉडी का ग्लूकोज कम होना is difficult, is rare than glucose बढ़ना. तो glucose is not really required to be added in your diet.
Like, this is, I think it's more of a mindset game because you can't make people eat less glucose. It's everywhere. Like, everything has glucose. If you order food from
exactly.
outside, your all these curries, all your naan, everything has glucose.
But I think, Dr. Ashish, if we implement this scientific model which you're talking about, everything will go bankrupt. Like when if you see the right root of this problem, that is sugarcane. And sugarcane industry is like huge. Like in India itself, sugarcane industry employs like crazy number of people, starting from the farmers, then the mill workers, and the hierarchy goes on. So if this agenda or if this mindset is like widespread in the society and people start consuming less sugar, it's very difficult to manage the economic aspect of that problem.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because I think this is like a very good excuse in which you're shifting your personal blame to sustaining the economy. If more people start eating ketogenic diet, then people will start producing more ketogenic food. It's just like
ग्लूकॉन डी की कंपनी बंद करा के रहोगे आप.
I don't think there's any personal. This is not altruistic that you're eating sugar so that you can sustain sugarcane farmers. It's just an excuse, man.
Oh, cool. मेरी चोरी पकड़ी गई है. लास्ट मूवी कौन सी देखी थी?
I wanted to watch this movie by Ari Aster, which is called
The last Bollywood movie. Don't talk about the English movies. Last Bollywood movie कौन सी देखी थी? मसाला तो वही है ना, क्योंकि
Gulabo and Satavo, जिसमें कि
अच्छा, हाँ, अमिताभ बच्चन एंड वो खुराना. गुलाब सताऊ was a nice movie. Dude, you're completely cut off from Indian media, I guess.
I don't consume like current affairs from India.
How do you like Modi ji?
No political comments.
दोस्तों, खौफ बना रहना चाहिए, चाहे देश के अंदर या देश के बाहर. हम बहुत ज्यादा डिटूर कर गए गाइस, आई एम सॉरी. सो प्लैब पे एक बार थोड़ी देर के लिए वापस आने की कोशिश करते हैं. रिसेंटली गवर्नमेंट ऑफ यूके ने, हमारे ऋषि भाई साहब ने, ऐसे नाम हम चेंज कर दिया है गेस प्लैब का, ऐसे यूके एमएलए जैसा, ऑन लाइंस ऑफ यूएस एमएलए. सो इफ दैट्स ओके, कुड यू प्लीज समराइज इट कि इंडियन ग्रेजुएट्स के लिए चेंज क्या होने वाला है विद दिस एडवेंट ऑफ यूके एमएलए?
UKMLA will be like a combined exam, just like USMLE, where everyone will have to go through it and pass it in order to become a practicing doctor in the UK. These days, you've got PLAB, exam for international medical graduates, and they have to pass it and then they get a license to practice. But the medical students who are in the UK, they do not go for PLAB. So the idea is to have a common exam so that everyone passes that exam and becomes a doctor.
So basically, it's a good thing for international graduates.
I mean, I don't know how it is a good thing. I feel that it's more of a unified exam so that it's easily manageable. But I feel that the exam will be completely the same. Example, they are just changing the names. PLAB 1, it has been named to what is that called? It's called AKT, Applied Knowledge Test. And then you have PLAB 2, which is being renamed to CPSA, which is like the OSCE that you have to go for.
Fancy names.
Yeah, so they are just changing the names. I went through their syllabus and it's completely the same. So I don't think people who are preparing for like PLAB 1 or PLAB 2, they should like change their strategies or something. I mean, what will happen? They won't suddenly like start putting geography questions, right? It will just be the same.
History would be too funny वैसे.
After 2024, everyone will have to go for UKMLA.
So अपने ऋषि ब्रो और क्या क्या कर रहे हैं वैसे वहाँ पे except for changing the names?
Again, dude, haven't been on with the current affairs, so I don't know what's going on in the political scene.
People here are going crazy. They're like के इंडिया का ही कोई बंदा जाके राज करने लग गया है यूके के ऊपर.
यार ऐसा होता नहीं है. I don't know how people think like this. I mean, ऋषि सुनाक is a British person, right? वो ब्राउन दिखता है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो तुम्हारा भाई है. This is just like कि वहाँ पे सुंदर पिचाई जब कुछ निकालता है तो लोग इंडिया में ताली बजाते हैं कि वाह. ऐसा नहीं है ना. मतलब वो लोग अमेरिकन बन चुके हैं, ब्रिटिश हैं ये लोग. Their ideologies are different. They think differently. You can't say कि इंडिया का कॉमन मैन और ऋषि सुनाक एक जैसे सोचता है, मतलब, है ना.
रूरल इंडिया में बैठा गजेंद्र इसका मानना है कि ऋषि सुनक ला के देगा कोहिनूर हीरा वापस.
ये I don't know. This is just magical thinking.
Like talking about your K3PY Galaxy, आपके पास और भी बहुत सारी चीजें कॉम्प्लेक्स हैं हमारी ऑडियंस को बताने के लिए. Let's start with something interesting. Let's start with how is AI going to change healthcare? Have you read about it?
I am actively working on artificial intelligence in terms of medicine. I feel it's going very slow. It has already started helping physicians. It has already started helping the logistics around health. For example, you have multiple AI models in place which can predict what time your ambulance will come, when will the patient speak, what problems you'll have, what kind of diseases will be more prevalent. So you've got AI models definitely doing that. You've got
So AI in healthcare is not something in future, it's happening right now. That is what you're saying.
There are AI models helping radiologists to better diagnose things. They are picking up cancers at a higher accuracy than a normal radiologist, like experienced radiologist. I feel that it will definitely augment medicine at like a totally different level.
Will it going to lead to loss of jobs or something? Do you think that? That is the most common fear in us, na? कि AI आएगा job खा जाएगा. That is what people are thinking.
It might do loss of boring jobs, like boring. I feel that in healthcare, people are not looking for the right diagnosis. I think they are looking for someone who can support them. Example, it's very easy to find what you could be having if you put your symptoms on a computer and then you crunch those with an algorithm. It's very easy to find what is the probability that you have a particular disease. But I feel that patients are looking for more than that. They are looking for a companion, someone who can talk to them, someone who can address their emotional issues. To have general AI which can do all of that stuff, yeah, it definitely will take away all these jobs, but not for medicine, for all the sectors. And it will be when you have that general AI in place. But in terms of what AI that we have right now, I don't think that it will kill a lot of jobs in medicine, at least for the next.
I was going through a video online on YouTube. There was some big radiologist talking about it. He was talking in terms of कि AI will come and rather than reporting the abnormal stuff,
it will help the radiologist in filtering out the normal stuff. Like the radiologist spend a lot of time in reporting a negative finding. AI will definitely reduce a lot of time on that, to report a normal CT. That is the thought I got from him. I don't remember his name.
Definitely. I mean, it will take away all the boring stuff from our life, but it will also replace a lot of creative jobs. It's very tough to say when this will happen and how this will happen, but in the world where we are living, people want to make money, and if something makes more money for them, I mean, why will a human do that? If you have chat gpt who can write medical content for you, why do you need a content creator in terms of like for writing medical blogs? It's just
Exactly.
easy, right? It's very difficult to manage people. It's crazy difficult to manage people. Like I hate managing people. so it's much better to have less people, AI on the side that can do all the work.
How is AI helping you right now?
First of all, it makes a lot of things easy for me in terms of programming. For example, if I want to learn a new concept in programming, I can just go to ChatGPT and just type in a prompt that explain this to me like I am a 15-year-old, and it will explain it to you, right? It can debug code. Like programming is all about opening your computer, typing stuff, and then getting errors and then debugging it. However experienced you are, whenever you start writing a new software, it's all about like debugging. And it's very difficult to understand bugs sometimes. So a lot of times we go to all these websites like Google, Stack Overflow, try to find solutions. But if you have ChatGPT, it can just look at your entire code base and it can find out where your exact bug is and how to solve it.
If I'm not wrong, there used to be jobs, people used to find these bugs, and big companies like Meta, like other companies used to hire them for finding bugs. So I guess they're all gone now.
I wouldn't say that they are completely gone because ChatGPT is not 100% efficient. And a lot of things not be just solved by having an AI in place. You'll need a middleman to instruct the AI, right? You need someone to direct the AI because the AI can't think generally like human things. Like it can't have multimodal understanding. So you need a human to explain it to an AI, and then it will do the things well. For example, think about a company and you are the client. You come to me like you want to build a software that can report a CT scan. Okay, so because you can't do that, or you could have done that, right? You could have gone to ChatGPT. You could have asked ChatGPT to build a software, but that can't happen. So you need a middle person. So you need a middle person who you will talk to, and then that person will GPT to do stuff, and then make sense of it. Then combine it.
But that is up to the point, like for another 2-3 years, where the chat GPT or other softwares require human intervention. There would come a time when they don't need it. But do you think there will be a time when they don't need a human instructions about human prompts?
The limiting factor here is a human being, right? You can't explain your prompts well to ChatGPT. That's why it can't code well for you. So you are the limitation. It's not ChatGPT. If you are someone who can understand code, can understand how building blocks fit in, can understand how to scale, can understand economics, whether this code will be efficient and where will you deploy it, how much will it cost if you deploy it on the cloud. If you can't do that, definitely you don't need a middle person. But the problem is that everyone doesn't know how to code. So you need a middleman. Some jobs are definitely safe. I wrote an article on Medium about this, like what are the top 5 jobs that will be very tough to replace. I think healthcare jobs are one of them.
Yes, the human resource management will also stick. It is also not going anywhere. We'll need human to manage human resource.
Definitely. I think people need other people to do things. Like look at the loneliness pandemic that we have.
What do you think? Since you're actively involved in AI, especially, and you're a part of the healthcare, what do you think? How can medical students use AI into their curriculum?
First one is that if someone doesn't know how to code, they want to use AI just for learning some other stuff, then they can understand things better using AI. There are so many of these things which are like very badly described in books. So you have to like go to the library and search multiple books, or maybe go to Google and then get random results. AI can help you learn better. That's the first one. It can streamline processes for you. It can automate stuff for you. Example, if you've got an exam coming up, right? It can make schedule for you on how to study.
Okay.
It can make questions for you. For example, you've got PLAB 1 coming up. You're like, I don't know gastroenterology, or maybe I am bad at cardiology. So can you just give me 10 cardiology questions which are relevant to PLAB 1, and it will give you that. Right. The third one is that it can help you build real stuff. At a personal level, I want to be someone who can build things, right? There are multiple things that are very inefficient, and you always want to make things efficient for yourself, for others. And
For example,
for example, think about, like, I'm trying to think a simpler example. So I've been working on this project on the side. I have actually deployed it. It's called Consent Chain. It came from an idea that we've got generative AI around. By generative AI, I mean an artificial intelligent model which can generate things that look like original.
You heard about the DALI, for example, the DALI.
Yeah, go for DALI, DALI 1, DALI 2, but you've got Mid Journey. But these are popular tools.
mid-journey.
Popular tools. You can use, so all these models are called diffusion models, right? So these diffusion models can generate newer images which look like original. And it's not just limited to non-medical images. It's very much it works very well for medical images as well. For example, you can generate CT images where you have lung cancer. So I was I was reading this article where some hackers are getting into computer systems and they are putting images of lung cancer into normal patients' data. You've got people or hackers who can access or hack medical databases, and they can insert cancer into patients' data sets, imaging data sets.
That is quite startling.
Yeah, that is happening. So do you think the next war will be taking place? It won't be with arms. It's tech war, right? You hack into other countries' computer systems, and then you put in fake images, put fake data, replace data, take away data, lock data.
Security like Indian websites. भगवान ही मालिक है क्या होने वाला है.
So in the era of generative AI, you need to have proof about what is original and what is not. And there comes blockchain.
Oh, so now it's a full circle. See,
Data is on a blockchain. You can verify that, okay, this is tamper proof, it's there. And that's the role of blockchain. So I've been building software that can put your health records on the blockchain. So my software, which is called Consent Chain, you can access it on consentchain.web.app. You can just upload medical consents on the blockchain, which are 100% confidential and 100% verifiable. So you can't have fake consents, or someone can't say that, oh, I didn't give consent for this procedure. Bye-bye. I'm going to sue you. That can't happen. But that's a very small idea. I mean, that's just for consents. You can put all the healthcare data into blockchains.
this thing you made with help of AI. That is what you're telling.
You can definitely help of AI to do stuff, because AI can debug better. AI can write the boilerplate code for you. Boilerplate code is something which is like some default code that you have to start with, and then you add on top of it. For example, if you are building a server, you don't start writing server from scratch. You've got multiple things on the back, and then you start putting them one by one, and then you build on top of it. You don't start from scratch. Like, you don't reinvent the wheel all the time. So that's where AI comes, where it does all the boring stuff for you, so that you can focus on the creative stuff on top of it. Right? So you can build solutions like that using AI. You can learn, which is the first point that I said.
The first we did.
Yeah, but I think for everyone who is who's going to benefit from AI, they'll have to get used to the world of programming. Like they should try to learn programming a bit so that they can better use AI. For example, if I didn't knew how to code, I won't be able to use AI at a scale that I'm using right now. Right? So if you know how to code, you can first of all solve your own problems, build stuff, augment what you always wanted to do, taking away the boring stuff, letting you do the main part.
That तो मोटा मोटा तीन चीजें, like learn stuff, or setting automated systems, and third is building stuff, and that is endless. The last one is endless, like the possibility is endless.
Yeah, and I think everyone should know how to build. There are multiple problems in medicine that are just lying there. There are hundreds of efficient processes. People just complain about them. No one wants to build a solution about regarding that. And it's not just AI. I mean, AI is it's just a tool. You've got non-AI things that you can do to solve problems.
The problem solving mindset has to be developed. That is the main problem. The use and non-use of AI is not the issue. Time we talked off camera, Dr. Ashish got really aggressive towards against the rat race. So I would just prompt rat race and let's see Dr. Ashish's reaction. So what is your take on medical rat race, to be specific?
If you just want to talk about rat race, I don't think that it's specific to medicine or it's specific to India. It's very general, and it's just a part of how humans behave and how humans think. If you got someone who has gone through the conventional schooling system and they have been taught from the beginning that you just try to score the highest in your school and then you get a good job, they'll do that, right? Unless they reach a realization that, oh, it's not working. I mean, what I always wanted, you can't get it through this way. Rat race continues because this realization comes very late in people's life. So if you're 20, right? If you're not married, if you haven't done, if you haven't given yourself to one particular stream of career and you haven't gone very deep into it, and then you realized like what I wanted to achieve can't be, isn't possible through this way. So you can come out of it, right? Because you're quite independent. But if you're 40, if you've got like 4 kids, you've got wife, you've got mortgage. If you've got mortgage, if you've got a nice fancy BMW sitting in your garage, you'll have to deny it. You'll have to stay a part of it, right? The rat race comes from like a value system where we try to chase status. Like everyone is trying to chase status. Like it's very innate to humans.
You do not want status.
Everyone wants status, but it depends what their priorities are. Someone tells you that they don't want status, they are lying, because it's anti-evolutionary biology. Evolutionary biology has 2 main goals. The first one is to find an ideal mate, produce. The second one is to survive. Okay. If you have got high status, it helps you in both. So you can't beat evolutionary biology. So if someone is telling you that they don't want money or they don't want status, they are faking, right? They want it. Maybe they want to stand on a higher moral ground.
Not exactly moral ground. I think it's a defense mechanism. It's like I'm not doing it because I don't want it. The main point is they can't do it. Like they know they can't do it, so they say they don't want it. It is a defense mechanism.
So people have to get stuck in the rat race and then they can't break out of it. I mean, you should feel a lot of empathy for people who can't break out of it. Because you're...
To be honest, Dr. Ashish, you were way aggressive last time when we were talking about rat race. Dr. Ashish is being really docile this time, in front of the camera, all the recording stuff, talking with a low pitch voice.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, definitely. I mean,
ठीक है मान लेते हैं.
I've thought about this a lot. I've read about this a lot. If you're deep into it, it's very difficult to escape. Like, think about people who are very deep into it. You've got 4 kids.
It's not about difficulty. It's not about difficulty. It's about feasibility. Like you have dependence on you. Na? You cannot just run from your responsibilities.
You can just leave everything and go to the forest, like Gautam Buddha did. You can. It's difficult.
It's not ideal. But like in my ideas, it is not ideal. Personally.
Yeah, it's like breaking the contract, like breaking your marriage contract, breaking the contract with your kids, breaking your bank contract.
4 बच्चे हो तो फिर तो ज़्यादा दिक्कत है.
So people have to stick to it. But I feel that if you realize things at the very beginning, when you don't have a lot of liabilities, you can definitely break out of the rat race. It's very difficult to do that though. The first step is to change your mindset completely.
Okay.
Become a highly self-aware person on what you really want and what you're showing to the world, which is a very difficult thing to do.
Okay.
Right? And then that takes taking control of your emotions. If you have done that, then the third step is to find things that you love to do.
Okay, so that is the third part.
And this completely baffles me because, like, think about your life. When you graduate, you'll spend about 70 to 80% of your life doing work. People don't realize this, that after graduation, they'll spend most of their life doing some kind of work. Right? And if you choose that work which is not satisfying, you'll spend whole of your life suffering. Most people think it is like, oh, काम पे तो जाना है, काम के आके चिल करेंगे. ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? तुम सुबह 6 बजे उठते हो काम पे जाने के लिए, तो वहां से तुम्हारा काम चालू हो गया, क्योंकि तुम जो काम पे जाने का जो प्रोसेस है वो 2 घंटे लगेंगे तैयार होने, नहाने, जो करना है तुम्हें, ड्राइव करना. फिर काम पे जाओगे, फिर काम से आओगे, 1-2 घंटे और मान लो, फिर काम पे जो हरकतें हुई तुम्हारे साथ उसके बारे में सोचोगे. ठीक है? तो अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि काम के बाहर ही जिंदगी होती है, तो फिर तो तुम गए. ऐसा हो नहीं सकता.
True.
ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल.
Exactly. मतलब obviously we spend way more time at an office or a hospital in case of our like profession.
If you don't find work that you really love, you'll suffer. And once you start suffering, you'll affect everyone around you.
That is the main point. मतलब suffering on a personal level is okay. Making everyone else suffer around you is it's really difficult. Everyone is imagining that one SR, मतलब in case the medical community, the senior resident, that one senior resident who screws everyone's life around. That is because he's always irritated because of his work.
So people don't want to do things that they are actually doing. How many times have you been off and you started reading physiology? Right? Never. But when I wake up, I start to code. That are work to other people, they are fun to me. Like, I code for fun. I read computer science for fun. I read medicine for fun. I read nutrition for fun. You find stuff that you are really passionate about. Once you have found that stuff, you'll be able to outwork everyone. Definitely.
Everything is about outworking everyone. That is the way to achieve that status, along with the happiness.
You outwork anyone who's like pathetic at that job, isn't it? And once you outwork people, then you start, like, you've got some concepts on how to scale things, on how to automate stuff. You can definitely earn money from stuff.
After 50 minutes and another hour of unrecorded conversation with Dr. Ashish, we have tried to like 0.1% dig into his mindset about the world, how he sees stuff. We will take another 12 years to completely channelize his vision on this channel, hopefully, if he agrees to come again. Till then, Prince Kaushik signing out. Bye-bye.